and holding. And so it gives these very numerical oriented breath cycles in which to do. So it'll say, like, you should inhale over 8 seconds and exhale over 13 seconds.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
it has like a hold for 5 seconds in between type of thing. And
Yeah.
that there are certain aspects that come as a result of doing these like intentional breath inhalation and exhalation cycles. And so maybe you could explain why extending your exhalation has a particular impact on you, and how you've used that.
Yes, for sure. It's one of my favorite questions ever. Understanding what your breath is doing is the thing that I get challenged by when I go to like a breathwork class or a yoga class. We're always talking about breathing. We don't know what the heck is actually going on with our breath. Like, what is an inhalation? What is an exhalation? When you are exhaling, you are slowing the heart rate down, because what happens when you exhale is the diaphragm ascends. So it ends up increasing intrathoracic pressure. And so it increases. When did I say exhale? Yeah. When you
Mm-hmm.
exhale, the diaphragm ascends, it increases intrathoracic pressure. So the diaphragm comes up, right? So it closes down that space. So there's less venous blood flow going to the heart. So the heart says, okay, there's less fluid coming in here right now because we're all tight. Let's slow it down a little bit. You also have sensory receptors in the lungs that send signals to the vagus nerve that say, when we're doing that, when we're in that exhalation pattern, there's less blood coming to the heart. Let's downregulate or reduce activity of the vagus, or sorry, increase activity of the vagus nerve, which ends up
Mm-hmm.
slowing down the heart as well. And so every
Mm-hmm.
time you exhale, you are mechanically slowing down the rate of your heart, and you are mechanically increasing the tone or the activity of the vagus nerve. It's called respiratory sinus arrhythmia. When you inhale, you are descending the diaphragm. You are reducing intrathoracic pressure. You are increasing venous return. And so you are getting the signal, there's a lot of fluid coming in here. We got to speed things up. So it
Mm-hmm.
amplifies the heart rate, and it also downregulates or reduces activity of the vagus nerve. So that's a very like pedantic kind of, like scientific way of explaining. When you exhale, it mechanically slows down the rate of the heart and increases the activation of your parasympathetic nervous system, increases the tone of the vagus nerve. So every time you inhale, you are kind of making yourself, not kind of, you're completely making yourself more alert. Something that's very interesting with this.
Inhalation. So like rapid inhalations raises your heart rate,
Yes, raises your
and
heart rate.
slow exhalations like reduces your heart rate.
Yes. Yeah. Any exhalation reduces your heart rate. If you slow it down, you'll be riding in that parasympathetic wave longer. When you hold your breath, you are starting to build up carbon dioxide in the system. Carbon dioxide is a very medicinal gas that is supportive with, it relaxes smooth muscle in the body, muscle around the organs and such. It has antimicrobial, antibacterial properties. It has a whole laundry list of benefits to your body. CO2 is very beneficial for your body. If you are a person that is very sensitive to carbon dioxide, so you process, you sense that carbon dioxide building up in the brainstem, the bottom of the brainstem. If you're very sensitive to that, every time CO2 builds up, you say, oh, I gotta get some air. Oh my God, I thought I was drowning. I thought I was running out of air. What that does is it creates this cascade, this cycle, this self-perpetuating cycle where you start to overbreathe more because you're very
Uh,
sensitive to carbon dioxide. If you start to nudge yourself, this is one of the best things you can possibly do for yourself, truly. You start to nudge yourself and extend the exhalation, explore breath holds, something I do, and we break this down in the breathing program
mhm.
as well, different exercises. Um, I'll do a extended exhalation as I'm taking a walk, and I'll pick a point. So I'll be like, cool, I won't inhale until I get to that phone pole. I'll take a walk, blow it all out. And then I'll start to explore that air hunger sensation. And I'll slowly just respectfully nudge against my boundaries of how much CO2 my brainstem can detect before it's like, holy crap, I really got to breathe. If you can do that, it will slow down your autonomic nervous system and say, we have so much air. Like, we're so chill. We're good. If you're a person that over breathes, you'll perpetuate that cycle, and you'll have this sensation. It feels almost like you're like subtly drowning in a way.